Advanced Residential Applications and Case Studies. Chapter 4, Case Study. Page 13, Chapter 4 Ending Quiz. Retake. Times 2. This quiz has a total of 5 questions. There will be 1 question per page. You must achieve 80% to pass this quiz. Start quiz. Number 1. A single-family home situated in a commercial area is worth $80,000. The site value is $70,000. If the home were converted to office use at a cost of $15,000, it would be worth $92,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? A. Conversion to office use. B. Continuation as a single-family home. C. Raise and redevelop. Or D. Cannot determine from the information provided. I'm going to go continuation as a single-family home. Number 2, Rick is appraising a single-family dwelling in a depressed market where there are no sales. However, there are numerous properties rented. How can he value the property if there are no sales? A. By using hypothetical comparable sales in the sales comparison approach. B. By the cost approach only. The income approach is not applicable for single-family homes. C. The income approach and/or cost approach. Or D, he cannot value the property in the situation. I'm going C, by the income approach and/or cost approach. Number 3, a single-family home situated in a commercial area is worth $165,000. It could be raised at a cost of $12,000. The site value is $175,000. If the home were converted to office use at a cost of $24,000, it would be worth $195,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? A. Conversion to office use. B. Continuation as a single-family home. C. Raise and redevelop. Or D. Cannot determine from the information provided. $153,000, okay? Number 4, an owner-occupied single-family home located in a commercial area sells for $175,000. The lot, if vacant and available for commercial development, would be worth $140,000. What is the contributing value of the home? A. $140,000. B. $35,000. C. $25,000. Or D. Cannot be determined from the information provided. I'm going to go with B, $35,000 positive. And lastly, number 5, a single-family home situated in a commercial area is worth $395,000 and could be raised at a cost of $15,000. The site value is $400,000. If the home were converted to retail use at a cost of $45,000, it would be worth $450,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? A. Conversion to retail use. B. Continuation as a single-family home. C. Raise the home and redevelop the site. Or D. Cannot determine from the information provided. I'm going to go conversion to retail use. I'm just going to take a guess. Fuck it. Assessment completed. Finish. You passed. You got 100%. So remember, number one, a single family home situated in a commercial area is worth $80,000. The site value is $70,000. If the home were converted to office use at a cost of $15,000, it would be worth $92,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? You said continuation as a single family home. That's correct. Number two, Rick is appraising a single family dwelling in a depressed market where there are no sales. However, there are numerous properties rented. How can he value the property if there are no sales? You said by the income approach and / or cost approach, and that is correct. Number three, a single family home situated in a commercial area is worth $165,000 and could be raised at a cost of $12,000. The site value is $175,000. If the home were converted to office use at a cost of $24,000, it would be worth $195,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? You said conversion to office use. That's correct. Number four, an owner-occupied single-family home located in a commercial home area sells for $175,000. The lot, if vacant and available for commercial development, would be worth $140,000. What is the contributing value of the home? You said $35,000. That's correct. Number five, a single-family home situated in a commercial area is worth $395,000 and could be raised at a cost of $15,000. The site value is $400,000. If the home were converted to retail use at a cost of $45,000, it would be worth $450,000. What is the highest and best use of the property as improved? You said A, conversion to retail use. That's correct. Continue. Chapter 5, page 1. This is the overview. Chapter 5 is called the reporting process. Overview. Chapter learning objectives. Explain USPAP reporting requirements. Apply reporting issues to complex properties and identify alternatives to form reports for complex properties. End of page. Page 2, chapter introduction. In this chapter, we will focus on the reporting process for all properties. As we work our way through, we will point out areas that require special attention when reporting appraisals of complex properties. Remember, appraisal work essentially consists of two processes: development and reporting. That's highlighted. Up until this point in the course, we have been focusing on what work is done in the appraisal development. That's highlighted. Process. Now, we will key on the second aspect, the appraisal report. That's highlighted. We will review the various parts of Standard 2 and discuss their applicability to the reporting appraisals of complex properties. We will tackle the topic of narrative appraisal reports and illustrate some options for residential appraisers. End of page. Page 3, Standards Rule 2-1. Reporting the appraisal of a complex property. That's highlighted. Careful attention to the appraisal of a complex property only gets the appraiser so far. Once you have developed a credible opinion of value, you must communicate your opinions and conclusions to the client in a manner that will not be misleading. Let's briefly review Standards Rule 2-1, SR 2-1. Which sets forth some basic but very important requirements. Each written or oral report appraisal, oral real property appraisal report must A. Clearly and accurately set forth the appraisal in a manner that will not be misleading. B. Contain sufficient information to enable the intended users of the appraisal to understand the report properly. And C. Clearly and accurately disclose all assumptions, extraordinary assumptions, hypothetical conditions, and limited conditions used in the assignment. These requirements are important in all real property appraisal reports, but are especially critical in the appraisal of a complex property. For example, in the appraisal of a complex property, it is possible that one of the commonly used appraisal reporting forms, even if fully filled out, would not contain sufficient information to allow intended users to understand the full extent of the appraisal development process. In this type of situation, the appraiser must supplement the form with additional information so that the report can be understood by the intended users. End of page. Page 4, Standards Rule 2-2. While it will not be necessary to discuss all of Standards Rules 2-2, there are a few important issues relevant to reporting the appraisal of a complex property that we need to consider, and we will point those areas out in Standards Rule 2-2 below. Remind yourself of all of the reporting requirements in Standards Rule 2-2. Pay particular attention to those sections which follow, in which we offer specific commentary and discussion. Each written real property appraisal report must be prepared under one of the following options, and prominently state which option is used: appraisal report or restricted appraisal report. In most residential assignments, your client will probably require an appraisal report. You should be very familiar with the minimum requirements of the appraisal report, but understand that USPAP only establishes minimum requirements. If reporting at the minimum USPAP required level is not sufficient to clearly communicate your assignment results in a manner that is not misleading, then you must go beyond minimum reporting requirements and provide the level of detail and explanation you believe your client will require. A. The content of the appraisal report must be appropriate for the intended use of the appraisal, and at a minimum, state the identity of the client, or if the client requested anonymity, state that the client is withheld at the client's request, but is retained in the appraiser's work file. Comment: because the client is an intended user, they must be identified in the report as such. However, if the client has requested anonymity, the appraiser must use care when identifying the client to avoid violations of the confidentiality section of the ethics rule. State the identity of any other intended users by name or type. Comment: a party receiving a copy of an appraisal report in order to satisfy disclosure requirements does not become an intended user of the appraisal unless the appraiser identifies such party as an intended user as part of the assignment. 3. State the intended use of the appraisal. 4. Contain information, documents, and/or exhibits sufficient to identify the real estate involved in the appraisal, including the physical, legal, and economic property characteristics relevant to the assignment. The more complex the property, the more information the appraiser should provide in the appraisal report to sufficiently identify the real estate for the client and intended users. Take advantage of photographs, documents, even satellite imagery. Use whatever means is necessary to communicate effectively the important information pertaining to the property in general and unique or complex features in particular. Do not ever assume that the client is fully aware of the characteristics of the property, especially unique or complicating characteristics. Remember also that other intended users may have a different level of understanding of the issues involved in the appraisal and especially in the reporting of a complex appraisal. You should speak to the lowest common denominator of understanding that you believe the client and intended users possess so as not to mislead or misinform unintentionally. End of page.